Hello
And welcome.
welcome
And welcome.
to another
BB11.
a Dominion League match in the B1 division between Akuchi and Fircoal. I know this is Aku's last match of the season. Not sure about Fircoal. And they're playing with like lists, which some people are very excited about.
So excited! Look at it. What's on there? Miser. That's great.
Ronin, Miser, Artist Continue, Rice, Bishop, Practice Fortress, Imperial Envoy Tomb, Way of the Chameleon,
Bishop.
Citadel, Captain Foresight, Displace, and Rice Broker.
Bishop.
Seems like a kind of random collection of things,
That's eclectic. Anyway, is this Tracer's division?
Yes.
So I think there's... I don't know if Tracer has clinched promotion yet, but he has had a very dominant season.
Yeah.
So is this about non-demotion, maybe?
For Aku, it almost certainly is. I'm not sure about Fircoal.
Should we have looked this up prior to starting?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Not a chance. Here, real quick. Boom.
Real quick. Boom, boom.
Fircoal has a lot of matches left to play.
Okay.
Aku really wants to do well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
Okay. All right.
So, Tireless Infirmary is interesting. Because you can, like, obviously you can do, like, the Infirmary overpay thing, and then you know you're going to see it, like, pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm. This is, like, the draw is a little sad, right? Because it's, like, either tied to green or to treasure. So it's kind of like...
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's not too difficult to put treasures into your deck with Sculptor if you want to do that. True. But it looks like they're both going for Shepherd, which I think generally makes sense. Like, Shepherd... like, if you keep your estates around, obviously they score a good amount of points with Pasture, and Shepherd is non-terminal. So while Shepherd really does benefit from having some duration draw, well, there is Expedition, so like you can pump up your starting hand size with Expedition.
I feel like other than the draw, there's everything there that we need, right? We have a village, we have plus buy, but okay. So we are starting to trash.
I do think like the plus buy is definitely on the weak side until you get Animal Fair is active. But yeah, I mean, you don't necessarily need a ton of it because you have Falconer and Sculptor and Engineer for gaining cheap stuff. And if you're playing with Shepherd draw, you don't need a ton of fives anyway. So it's really not until you start greening that you would want like too much more plus buy. So that's that probably all works out reasonably well. So both of them have gone in for Sculptors and Shepherds. Aku just got second Sculptor. Fircoal is the only one who's gotten an Infirmary, so I don't know if Aku's planning to skip Copper Trashing or just wants to get off a big Infirmary to do Copper Trashing.
The thing is, like, how do you get off a big Infirmary when, like, that doesn't involve the coppers that you want to trash?
Silvers from Sculptor, coffers from Candlestick Maker. Not that Aku has one of those yet. Coffers from Plaza. Not that. Oh, he does have a Plaza. Okay.
I'm questioning. I'm questioning that. Unless you talk about like a turn 10 Infirmary.
I mean, that something like that may in fact be the goal. I mean, also buying Expedition could be a factor as well.
Yeah, but like still, you kind of need. You need 3 plus, however many coppers you want to trash. That doesn't involve the coppers that you want to trash.
Yeah. It's true.
Well, we shall see. We have no choice but to see.
Yes, indeed.
So we are... This could be the infirmary.
The fact that he's not playing one of those coppers suggests so. I'm not particularly taken with that, but I mean, I guess if he knows he has just more coppers down the bottom of his deck and he wants to trigger a shuffle anyway. Yeah, that seems to have been the case. So that's probably fun.
More plaza.
So I'm wondering if anybody is going to play with Falconer. I guess there's not much reason to, because there's just no dual types to activate it, so Sculptor is just kind of better.
Yeah. Aku debating or not whether to continue.
Yeah, I think it makes sense to.
Me too.
Yeah. Anyway, given that, I'm a little surprised Fircoal didn't want another Sculptor.
Maybe they will next turn.
Yeah. Looking like a good turn this turn, though, with all three of the estates.
Yeah. We'll be drawing deck. This could be a Candlestick maker. Could have been a Candlestick maker.
Yeah, I think I prefer the Plaza here just because, like, I don't think you're going to get anything out of the plus buy anyway.
I guess that's fair.
I mean, you do want it at some point, but at that particular moment, I don't think it was doing much.
Wait, why didn't we draw deck? Oh, we shuffled.
Okay, yeah, so Fircoal does get another Sculptor. Overall, decks are shaping up to be pretty similar. Fircoal has the Candlestick maker. Aku has an extra Shepherd.
Yeah, this is a sad draw for Aku for sure, bottom decked. Wait, no. What did he discard?
I'm surprised he didn't take a coffer there. I mean, maybe he's planning to trigger the shuffle. Well, yeah, there was. I guess if he spends all his money, it's fine. Otherwise, he kind of left a coffer on the table. The Plaza play earlier in the turn.
Are you gonna get more estates here at some point?
Yeah. I mean, if if you have green in hand, you don't have a Shepherd, you can sculpt Shepherd. But if you have a Shepherd in hand, you don't have green, you can sculpt estate. I would definitely expect to see that at some point. Okay, so there.
Third Sculptor.
Wait, did I?
Oh, Fircoal.
I'm not actually sure what that undo was from Aku. He like undid and then Candlestick Maker again anyway.
No, I don't think he ended the Candlestick Maker.
Oh, maybe he like clicked end actions or something.
Mm-hmm.
So like right here, if Aku wants to trigger the shuffle anyway, getting in a state would be reasonable. I don't know if he does.
Me either. What's in there? There's a state and pasture.
Yeah, it looks like the answer is no. Which, yeah, it seems correct. But anyway, I do think we'll see it at some point.
I mean, why not? Like you could. No, wait. It's 2 estates and.
I was kind of expecting like double plaza there, maybe, and like you can trigger the shuffle, you can discard the copper, and then you can discard the pasture, and like, are you really going to use the rebuys this turn? Maybe.
Isn't this just Sculptor Expedition?
Yeah.
Am I making too much noise? No comments.
It's hard for me to say.
You're just looking reproachfully. You're still. Want what?
Sure. So.
Okay. What happened?
So it looks like they both have 4 plazas as well. Very similar decks.
Very similar, yes.
And maybe even so both have the same number of silvers. Fircoal's showing 3.
Yeah. I think.
Oh, maybe the difference is Fircoal has trashed more copper.
And one of them has 2 Candlestick Makers.
Yeah, that's Aku. Fircoal also still only has 1 shepherd.
True.
It doesn't really need another one right at the moment. I mean, it may be a good idea to pick one up anyway. Or just get another sculptor. At some point, I do think there is such a thing as too many sculptors.
Is this the point?
I'm not sure. Like, as long as you have villagers and there are plazas left in the pile, like, having a sculptor in your hand is never going to be bad, but that could change once the plazas run.
Isn't this a good moment to play that infirmary?
I imagine Aku's trying to find a copper to trash.
Isn't this a good moment to sculpt a shepherd?
Maybe. He's got another one down there.
Yeah, but didn't find it.
Oh, interesting.
Decides to keep it there. And province, no expedition. Oh, it was an expedition.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe his reasoning was like, I have shepherd and at least 1 green card down there, so it's like at least not super likely to dud.
That's fair.
Alright, so animal fairs are online now. See whether anybody picks one up.
Oh, you could turn your your infirmary into an animal fair.
And I think Fircoal's out of copper, so I think for Fircoal that looks pretty promising.
Probably debating whether or not to pick up another estate, maybe? Before... Oh, no, wait. We're at the end of the shuffle.
Yeah. Fircoal doesn't need... Well... If Fircoal's not going to trigger the shuffle, certainly they don't need another state. But I'm guessing they picked up the Candlestick Maker specifically because that gives them the buy to, yeah, turn the Infirmary into an Animal Fair.
Mm-hmm.
Aku may not quite want to do that yet. He still has 3 coppers. Not a lot.
That's a lot of coppers, yeah. But an Animal Fair would be nice.
Yeah. I think making sure you draw is more important. Okay, there's the Sculpted Estate.
It's already the second one for Aku. At least the second.
I would have expected to play the Infirmary first there. Because you know you have a copper to trash.
If we're not going to trash the copper, because we're going to turn Infirmary into Animal Fair.
I would rather, like, sculpt something to turn... Well, I mean, actually, I guess you could sculpt an Infirmary, but, like...
This does not look to me like there's going to be more copper trashing.
Maybe. I mean, if he gets a shepherd, fine. Well, maybe it wouldn't be, actually. How much did he discard? Probably too much. Wait, does he only have 1 copper? Oh, the pasture! Right! He only has 1 copper left, because the pasture.
I was gonna say, what else is in the trash?
Okay. 1 copper is a lot less than 3, so...
That's true.
Yeah.
Wow. So this is gonna be another sculptor, I assume? Or actually, not sculptor shepherd, but actually we're at the end of the shuffle, so maybe not.
If all you want to do is flip the card off the top, you could take a courier.
A courier, yeah.
But courier is not, in general, very good in these decks.
Could be a silver for double province.
Yeah. Then you don't get to buy Expedition, though.
It's true.
Well, that doesn't mean you don't take the silver, but it's something to consider.
Well, what else would it be? Like something to trash for Animal Fair?
Potentially, yeah. I mean, having a second villager would be nice, but it's not super critical. With that last card is a plaza, I believe. So Fircoal is going to start next turn with plus actions anyway. This goes for the estate. It's points.
Piles are low.
Oh yeah, piles are lower than I had even registered. Only 3 sculptors left. That... It's hard to see Aku being able to take 3 sculptors and a points lead.
I like that estate. I like that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
If Aku double provinces, then Fircoal can win by double provincing, although Fircoal did burn all their coffers. So they've got to draw well to be able to hit double province, but I mean they're definitely capable of it, but it's without it having gotten an expedition, it's certainly not guaranteed. They also don't have the ability to sculpt green into hand anymore, so that's going to be a limiter as well.
Yeah. So theoretically, Akko needs 28 money and 5 gains to win. Which is a tall order. Especially when
wait, why 28?
You're not drawing. 3 sculptors, duchy, province.
Okay, yeah. I mean,
I guess it's cheaper to get.
Yeah, 6, but I don't know if
we don't have the gains.
Well, I mean, if you're sculpting candlestick makers, then you're going to get the buys. But I don't know.
That's true.
Well, also, Aku's turn is done.
Yeah.
Okay, so what happens? Is there any way that Courier can bail him out? I guess Infirmary can bail him out too.
Wait, how? I mean, okay. If we sculpt 3 candlestick makers, then we need 6 money, 11 money, 19 money, and we have 5 of candlestick maker, so that's 9 plus 6 is 15 plus animal fair is 19. So that's enough money, right? Is it enough gains? It should be enough gains. So that's a win in hand, right?
That sounds correct.
Was it exact?
Yeah, I think so.
That's pretty neat.
You gain 3. Assuming, I mean, I wasn't double checking your math. Try to do so. Gain 3 candlestick makers. You certainly have the actions to play all that.
Yeah. That's really neat.
You, as you said, you get to 9 plus 6 is 15 plus 4 is 19. You buy 3 candlestick makers. That leaves you at 13 for province duchy. Yeah.
Cool. We solved it.
We did.
Can Aku get there?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Playing the candlestick makers in hand is not particularly indicative one way or another. You probably would do that regardless.
Yeah.
MP sculptors, duchy, province. Yes, somebody is not in voice chat, I guess. I'm so offended.
You're so offended. Why? I don't think there's money for emptying sculptors. Getting a duchy and a province is the thing, which is why we thought it's better to gain. It might be happening. No, don't stop. Don't stop there.
I mean,
you have it.
Yeah,
you can't.
You might still be doing the math.
Is the thing.
Yeah, you can.
Which is why you can't just. Yes.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay.
Come on. Nice.
Okay,
nice. Oh, that's amazing. Nice. Good job.
All right.
Whee! I like Dominion.
That's
controversial.
Yeah.
Stance, I know.
Hot take and unexpected.
So unexpected. Ooh.
All right, now we have the other.
This is room for more from TGG.
We have the other landscape that starts with X and ends in shun.
Shun, yeah. We get the additional kingdom power because of approaching army, is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
It is presumably. Actually, I have no idea which one it brought. Never mind. I don't know if there's a way to tell. I guess it doesn't matter. So we've got a page kingdom.
We do.
Infirmary again.
Right.
Well, certainly in the long run, like obviously you're gonna have champion, and then the ninja attack isn't gonna hurt. Although the ninja will also just be like non-terminal draw, which is pretty good. Trashing wise, remaking estates isn't the most exciting here. You can take silver, you can take guide, you can take aristocrat. You could try to do a big infirmary overpay instead. Ninja helps a little bit with that.
Fircoal is going to open infirmary.
Yeah.
Page is interesting.
No, Fircoal goes for remake.
Page over fisherman?
Page over fisherman?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you for sure want a page.
Okay.
The other thing you could have done on 2-5, I guess, is go for Tormentor to try to get some imps, but that's probably not necessary.
I don't know about this remake over infirmary on the 5.
Yeah.
I don't know how to feel about it.
I think
I feel some type of way, as you like to say.
Well, it's
why aren't we?
Oh, Aku just goes for
why
litter.
Aren't
Interesting.
We trashing? I'm so confused.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a bit confused by that as well. Maybe Aku's again planning to do a later infirmary overpay.
Yeah, I mean it worked nicely with this game. Well, this could be a fisherman.
I don't know that I think it did work that well last game, but I don't know how relevant that is anyway. Different board.
Well, it's more to me as someone who's like very focused on doing that early on, like gaining the infirmary in the open if possible. Like I just never.
Oh, Aku just goes for another page.
Never hesitate and be like, well, do I need to play this right now?
We didn't really break down the whole of the board, but the plus buy here is virtually non-existent. You have to play 4 aristocrats. So second page is a little weird to me because I don't know that I care about getting treasures off of the page line. Because
you don't have to, there's a way.
Yeah, sure, but like what else are you getting the second page for? Like
warrior for draw.
But then you have to go through treasure hunter. I don't know.
But there's a way.
Yeah, but it's terminal.
You're such a downer. Such a hater.
I mean, well, maybe Aku is planning to get 4 aristocrats because he just gained 3 of them. So.
I mean, you have to. There's 4 aristocrats. 3 if you only count the babies.
I wonder if it's time for you to take exploration, or if he doesn't actually need it and can just... Oh, werewolf, interesting. Yeah, I was thinking about that too, about like sheeping the warrior. Although right now this shuffle's looking pretty short anyway.
Discard litter remake.
What? Why would you discard litter?
Because you got 2 aristocrats.
So discard remake treasure hunter and draw cards.
But then you don't get to play the treasure hunter.
Yeah.
You're a hater.
Who cares? The treasure hunter.
Oh, maybe I do. And
all that work to draw cards later when you could just draw cards now?
Be about me, clearly. Ah! Okay, never mind. It's all good. I really like how I'm sorry, I'm doing this again, but I really like how on TGG they will just tell you how many
silvers you
will get.
Yeah. Infirmary overpay yet? I guess Aku did get the remake eventually. I kind of missed when that happened, but I did notice him getting all of those aristocrats, so maybe he's just
second werewolf. Meow.
Well, I mean, once you get the champion down, it'll be.
But that's another turn removed.
Yeah.
Just check Aristocrat and remake.
Yeah, I mean, you're clearly gonna play the hero, so.
I need a hero. I'm holding out on a hero. I don't know what the line is. He's gotta be strong, and he's gotta be something. No?
Nope.
No, okay. He's gotta be there for a fight?
Alright, Aku's got the champion. Fircoal's about to get the champion. Aku triggered a shuffle. Fircoal is not going to trigger a shuffle. Yet.
Ooh. The Aristocats.
There it is. Clutch.
Beautiful. Yay!
Ooh. Warrior
no.
trashes warrior.
Resign.
No, it's not like.
No, it is. Rage.
Aku still has 7 coppers.
That's a lot of coppers.
Maybe now we infirmary overpay.
Yeah, but then like you can't trash 7 coppers.
You can trash a bunch.
3. Unless you play some.
Yeah. You play some, you trash others. Or you just buy more draw. I mean, that's reasonable. Coppers are gross, you know?
I don't. Tell me more.
Well...
Explain.
They're very icky.
Oh, I see.
You can sheep your first aristocrat after champion. That is cool. Yeah, because you don't need plus actions. Let's see if Aku does that. Well, I mean, it doesn't super matter right now. Well, if he finds all 4 of his aristocrats. Oh, no, wait, he doesn't have 4. He only has 3. Mm-hmm. So he went to the trouble. No, he didn't get it. Oh, no.
That's going to be some point deduction.
Yeah.
The last time.
Oh, hey, he still got an estate to turn into another aristocrat. Incredible.
Whee! Naturellement, the aristocrats. Bum, 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 bum,
well, that is all the buys you could really want.
Did you ever see Aristocrats?
Maybe. I don't remember.
Okay. I feel compelled to sing that because of my avatar.
I definitely want a fisherman here. Tormentor is basically just a fancy silver. Like I mean, I guess you could.
What do you mean? It's a fancy gold.
Oh, what if you activate approaching army? Which has not gotten any ticks on it yet, but
yeah, well, details.
I think. I mean, if you find it in your opening hand, then you can get an imp off of it. No, you can't, because there is champion to play. Never mind.
Clearly, you have to get 4 poets now.
Yeah, I do think getting a poet for Aku would be good, though, just because he has a lot of werewolves. I mean, Fircoal's got some too, but
what do poets have to do with werewolves? I thought because of the
activating
copper.
Approaching army.
I thought more like you get to draw all your coppers.
well,
is nice.
Sure, but also
and like getting one poet when it's not activated at all, and you can only play it once a turn is gonna take 5 turns to activate it.
Well, you can get more than
anyway,
one.
None of this matters.
It's allowed.
That's why I said you have to get 4 poets.
Oh, I see.
Okay. We don't deserve villages. Apparently.
Deserve?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there you go. Desert's got nothing to do with it, but
dessert maybe.
What are we going to be doing here?
Cabin Boy into Sea Witch on the 3/4.
Yeah, Aku just gets a 5/2, so he just wins the game.
Why didn't we even get a silver or anything? Could have Kintsugi'd on the
wait, they both got a 5/2.
But like could have Kintsugi'd on the first turn too. I don't understand Fircoal.
What?
Oh wait, never mind. Who am I watching?
They both had a 5/2.
Oh, I see. Okay. Never mind.
So yeah, in fact, Aku does not just win the game. Yeah, getting Cabin Boys does make some sense. Kintsugi also makes some sense. I'm not sure which I prefer.
Kintsugi.
Yeah. Yeah, on 3. I mean, you could get some value out of a guide, but I think I'd rather just trash a curse.
Is Aku gonna draw his other Sea Witch?
What?
Does he bottom deck the Witches of the Sea?
Oh, I see. Yeah. Ooh, rats gained.
Scary.
So, what's the plan there? You could.
I guess at some point you can Kintsugi rats if you've got a gold, but it's legitimately scary.
But what does that accomplish? You don't have +5.
Seized. Oh no.
Yeah, bishop is here, so you could bishop rats.
You know why bishop is here?
I don't.
It's on someone's like list.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Someone is very happy. Oh.
Sugi can gain peddlers. It's true.
I mean, here you can just Kintsugi for a peddler too, which is nice.
Sure. Maybe that's the best thing to do, even.
Maybe. Oh, well, wait, it wasn't for gold.
Oh, yeah.
Well, but could
wait, but why discard the estate?
It's just like seizing, I guess. I'd be too scared. I'd be like, no, I have to save the seize the day. Wasn't that one of the things you told me after my last match? I'm like, just seize.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not. It's like if you're not if you're in a situation in which like you're literally going to pass your buy phase anyway, then and you have 4 coins, then yeah, you should. I mean, that I don't know that was the situation here.
This is so sad.
So yeah, I don't know if they're paying attention to the whole like Kintsugi into peddler thing.
It doesn't look like it to me.
Which I mean isn't necessarily a big deal. Although if you do get a bishop, like bishoping peddlers is pretty good. Fircoal could still do it. Kintsugi cursed a peddler, but just buys a peddler. Yeah, that's an oversight.
Yeah, I mean, I would totally.
Yeah, that's fair.
Until my opponent.
Until they showed you, yeah.
Does it, and then I'm like, ah, that's right, and now I'm gonna lose.
Maybe Aku's gonna do it. Possible.
Kintsugi to me.
There it is. All right, now Fircoal's gonna know.
Beautiful. Aku didn't get any reds, right?
But Fircoal just goes for province. No, Aku's not playing rats. What?
Oh, that was just like so determined. Like it's just not a thing that he does. He's not a reds.
No, I didn't mean in general. I just
okay.
on this board.
Okay. That
would be a little extreme.
It's
like person. I refuse to ever play with rats. It would be a weird thing, a weird line to draw. So is nobody going to get a bishop? I mean,
ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah, it's certainly possible that they don't, but it's just I feel like, you know, if you went to the trouble of getting these rats, like see, I think Fircoal should have just bought bishop there.
Oh my god, this makes me so angry.
What?
Do you like drawing stuff dead and stuff? I'm so sad.
Yeah. I thought you were saying that in response to me saying Fircoal.
Oh no. No, not at all. No. I'm just like feeling with Aku here.
Yeah.
Like, this is not okay. I feel like flipping the table.
Maybe Aku will get a bishop. Nope. I don't know.
Bishop.
Yeah, just turning your curses into peddlers, it is a nice thing to do, but it's not going to help you overcome this province deficit. I'm not really sure I understand the rationale.
Kintsugi rats into passing?
Yeah, presumably. Or just buy an animal pair.
You could have Kintsugi.
Duchy?
You could have Kintsugi. Oh no, you couldn't.
Why buy Duchy when you could buy Bishop?
Or sad. Or just
oh, the animal fair got played.
Did you want Kintsugi it?
No, I just like that was plus buy, the first plus buy of the game.
Oh. Well,
even if Aku takes this province, he's down a lot. Yeah, so doesn't do it. Makes sense, but
yeah. Aku was done dirty here. All right, Fircoal gets points on the board. And just like that.
I'm not sure how impactful the rats really were there. They didn't.
So, yeah.
They didn't, like, obviously they didn't ruin things for Fircoal, but I'm not sure.
I think it's like that plus the fact that Aku bottom decked his sea witches.
Yeah, there are a bunch of.
That was just very unfortunate for Aku.
Yeah.
Look at all these treasures.
Tracer says it's gross. I think this is because the draw, once, like, you have Ronin for draw, but then you have all these treasures, so you can't, like, do anything with that.
It's true, and that's a sad vineyard.
It is a sad vineyard.
I guess the supplies make it somewhat better, but it's a sad situation. Okay, so it's a sad harbor village.
Yeah.
It's a sad situation. And there's tower, so this has so much potential. It looks fun to me still, even though people find it gross. It looks fun to me. Didn't you get a crucible?
Not necessarily. If you're planning to trash your shelters with T-Mog, you can trash your coppers with counterfeit. Tracer says empty bridge
troll, yeah, that's what I thought too.
Bury treasure and supplies as fast as possible. You get the tower points, you get money and buys and all that stuff. Yeah, I mean, I can see that. I can see that. I think Aku should take another T-Mog. Because either, like, you can potentially T-Mog into counterfeit. But you can also just play the other T-Mog and then get another trash off on one of your filters.
Ugh.
I could go for buried treasure or for counterfeit.
Buried treasure does not seem obvious to me.
The reason, I think Tracer's reasoning is that, like, once you start buying buried treasures, it's easier to continue to buy them because of the duration money. So you can kind of, like, get a chain going where you just empty them. Like, if your only goal is to get more buried treasure, normally when you get buried treasure, your goal is not to use that to get more buried treasure. But here, the tower. So we'll see how this works out with Aku investing in the counterfeit and Fircoal not so far. I think this would be a good spot for Aku to go ahead and grab a buried treasure, though. But he goes for second counterfeit. Okay.
We shall see.
Ooh,
bold.
Interesting. Now Fircoal does take counterfeit.
Buried treasure chain.
Yeah. Not quite sure I understand that.
This could be a buried treasure.
Yeah.
Or a Ronin.
I don't know that I expect Ronin to see play here.
At all? Ever?
Yeah. Supplies are almost empty. There's 5 shelters in the trash. No, 4. So, in theory, there's 1 left for each of them, but I don't know if it's going to play out that way. This is pretty sad to end up... Oh, there's both of Aku's shelters. Oh, that's not looking promising for turning them into supplies.
No. This is probably the last biased.
Yes, I think so.
Ooh. Well, I think Fircoal pretty decidedly won the supplies split.
Yes.
I guess like after now is the certain point.
Yes, now is the certain point that Cave is referring to. Pendant, interesting. Okay, Fircoal's going pretty hard in for the tracer
executing
approach now.
Yeah. What can Aku do?
Not sure. My impression that is that he's still not viewing this as like this kind of like rush thing that Tracer is suggesting, and I mean, depending on how quickly he can province, maybe he can defend against the tower points lead. It's a little scary, right? Because market squares are also down to 5.
It's very scary. Fircoal's gonna be able to empty treasures next turn if Aku doesn't here.
Mm-hmm.
And then Fircoal be ahead and further.
Mm-hmm.
So like 15 to, and then just needs to rush down.
Wait, would it really be an 8-2 split on buried treasure?
I don't know. I don't know. Okay.
Okay, well apparently it's a 5-5
Oh, it's 5-5, okay.
Now. But yeah, Fircoal potentially just empties market squares right here. Not quite.
Ooh, so close. Wow.
I don't think that's likely to set Aku up for a win, though.
No, I don't.
I mean, he can
just take a market square.
Aku can do market square to market square, but getting the points is going to be the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think buying market square does make sense for Fircoal.
It's a little scary because he didn't get. Sorry, because Fircoal didn't get any buried treasures in play this turn.
Mm-hmm.
So might not be able to hit 9. In fact, very likely not, right?
Well, that's not necessarily like Fircoal doesn't necessarily need to do that. Like, I mean, that's
sure you can transmog a buried treasure. Yes.
For a horse. I mean,
horse is
I guess
probably safer because you don't lose a point.
Yeah, anything. But in any case, let's see what Aku does here. So Aku can empty the market squares. I don't know what the market square distribution is, but I know Fircoal trashed 1, so that means there's 6 out there. Fircoal just bought 1, played 1. So Fircoal has at least 2. Most likely it's like 3-3. So if Aku takes 3 market squares, then he effectively gains 3 points if they are split right now, and then he needs a province to tie.
No. Fircoal also gets points.
It's the relative points, right? If they have the same number of market squares right now, and then Aku takes 3 of them, he gains 3 points on Fircoal. But Aku chose not to call the T-Mog. I'm not actually sure what Aku should have T-Mugged into, though, is the thing. 5-2, the market squares? Well, it can't be 5-2 because there's one in the trash. It could be 4-2.
Duchy and prey.
I guess.
Ooh.
Okay, it looks like it probably was 4-2, the market squares, so yeah.
That was, I mean, that was still lucky. I don't think it was guaranteed.
To be able to empty those. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it wasn't. Mm-hmm. It wasn't.
Well, Fircoal takes this game and ties the match for now.
Mm-hmm.
Kudos to Coven.
What kind of attitude is that? No yay, no villages again? Excuse me?
Moyo, explain yourself. Well, it's sad. It's a sad situation. Like, Den of Sin crew is nice, but without villages, I'm just sad.
Camel Train Skulk is pretty amusing. You get the Golden Exile and you immediately unexile it, and then you can peril these worthless actions into loot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Crew as the terminal? No, surely not.
What is the livery? Expand?
Expand. Yeah, that's what I want as my terminal. Den can draw a crew, but you can just play a bunch of dens and then have expand, and you can have Gainses. I like Gainses. I also like trashing.
What? Unheard of.
Yeah.
Do you peril that Skulk?
You've got
probably
7.
Not here.
No, I don't think so. I think you just get an expand.
But Aku is going to peril something.
Yeah. It's a bit of an awkward spell scroll. I guess spell scroll is probably not the worst loot you could have gotten there, but
it's
close.
Close to the worst. What's the worst?
Doubloons? Insignia? I don't know.
All right. Expand. Ooh, there we go.
Well, but Fircoal has an expand, so doubloons is better for Fircoal than it would have been for Aku. I mean, doubloons would still help you hit expand, so I guess there's that. Aku can hit expand here by just taking a gold or a livery, I suppose.
Aku already has an expand.
Oh, right.
You want a second expand?
No.
I'd have gone for a den.
Yeah, no, I think spell scroll into den looks good.
Skulk and den.
Livery den. Yeah,
Peddler, that's true.
That works. Wait, no, Aku's diluted. Oh, right. So you can gain the livery and then buy the den. Yeah, okay.
Or a peddler.
Why?
Because then your turn continues.
Yeah, this just looks worse to me than delivery den line.
Oh wait, you can't
undo incoming.
Can't so the peddler thing doesn't work because if you play, oh, we were already in.
Yeah, I mean it would work. Like you could gain a peddler, but I just don't think.
I thought we were still in our action phase, but then peddler would still be 8 cost.
I mean, I guess yeah. There's the risk of drawing expand, but I guess it is only 1 in 8. I guess, and peddler is. And the thing is, livery gives you a horse, and then you can expand it. Or maybe you just end up playing it because they don't collide. Peddler is never going to be bad in your deck. Oh. I think that's...
The audience is not convinced.
Yeah. Alright, more done. More done? At some point, I guess you got to get something else that you can peril. Because you still don't actually have plus buy.
That's for Skulk.
But you can also... you can expand into that. But like more easily.
You didn't.
Didn't, no. It's true.
Could have expanded into Skulk and bought a den.
Yeah.
Well...
I mean, whatever. I'm just thinking, like, you can expand into, like, Faithful Hound or Camel Train off of Copper. Copper isn't going to be very good at getting you it done, so...
I don't know, 2 dens?
Probably. Buying Peril here seems too unfortunate.
Yep. Sad.
And you get to attack for what that's worth.
And this is nice.
Yeah. Also, just like getting all the dens that you can is like valuable on its own. Like the den split is a relevant consideration.
Ooh, that's maybe mini skull.
I mean, it is fine from a peril standpoint, but I would have probably just rather had 2 den. Whoa! Oh wait, never mind. For some reason, it looked to me like Fircoal perilled and expand, but that did not happen.
Okay. You're not excited about this kingdom enough, so you choose to see outrageous things happening.
Sure. Hammer
time.
Hammer mostly is good because it gives you more peril fodder. We're just going for province. Okay.
Maybe it is.
Yeah, maybe. I still would want all the dens.
A good board for wounds.
It's okay. I mean, it's definitely not the first loot that you want. Ooh. Oh, well, okay, that's interesting.
Good save.
How many plus buy loots have been gained here? Like that jewels, and is that it? Like,
oh wait, because it.
This is kind of crazy,
what?
right? Was that jewels the only plus buy loot that's been gained this game? There's been 6 loots gained. Hammer, doubloons, figurehead, spell scroll, and jewels. Yeah, that's crazy. Friggin' loot, man.
What do you mean? That's beautiful.
Sometimes.
We like the loots. By we, I'm talking about myself. There we go. Swift.
Guess we didn't need plus buy anyway.
So overrated. Very swift games.
Yeah, Aku doing a good job there of like finding the right tempo for provincing.
Yeah. Okay. What have we got here? The Return of Ninja. And Sea Witch.
And 4 landscapes.
We have Family of Inventors. And everyone has 5 favors. Village. We have Draw.
Yeah.
We have plus buy. Trashing is somewhat limited. Oh wait, that's gardens, that's not cemetery. We don't have trashing.
Excuse me.
I guess we have ritual and procession.
Ritual is not trashing.
So it's very limited. And very soon. Very quickly. Gesundheit. And then Flourishing Trade is the one where everything gets cheaper and then actions turn into buys. Is that correct? All right.
Yeah, so Native Village's only village is pretty limiting. In conjunction with the otherwise lack of trashing. On the one hand, like the Native Village setting aside junk cards is nice. On the other hand, like you're gonna end up with, I mean, Tracer says like, oh, just set aside the Sea Witch discards, but like you have to be drawing well enough for that to be a thing. And in the meantime, you're gonna end up setting aside good cards, and then it's gonna be that whole business.
Mm-hmm. This would have been nice if we had drawn 1 more copper. And we could have gotten it. But yeah, it's not on anyway. Mind?
Just slamming the curses down.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, again, the lack of trashing, it makes sense. Not to mention the ritual denial.
Yes, that's
very important.
Extremely important.
Yeah, critical.
Yeah.
Yeah, procession looks like surprisingly bad here. Like it's like you can process Native Village into nothing. You can process Courtier and Tea House into nothing. Like to get plus actions, or you can process Ninja into a 5.
What do you mean Native Village?
Oh, sorry, into Importer. But I don't want a million Importers. Especially if I'm trashing my Native Villages.
What? Well, I mean, clearly you have to lower tea house costs, so like enough that you can get.
Oh right, I wasn't thinking about the family of inventors interaction with procession. Oh, that actually makes everything nightmarish, because then you, as soon as you pick up a procession, your opponent is going to use their favors to make it so that whatever you were trying to do with it doesn't work anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like Tracer is saying into Sea Witch, but like that won't work because as soon as you take a procession, somebody drops Sea Witch to 2 coins.
Aku was just going for cursing.
Just wants to make sure.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah, I can definitely see the reasoning.
Mm-hmm.
I think in that particular case, he was very likely to see a Sea Witch anyway. And I'm just thinking, like, it would be nice for Aku to have some plus buy.
Well, we can do that once we're done with.
I guess so. But if you were gonna, like, if your odds of seeing a Sea Witch the next turn are high enough anyway, then you don't necessarily need to, like, sacrifice the one in order to get the other.
Mm-hmm.
And this is basically the identical situation, except last time I think he had 2 Sea Witches in the bottom 4 cards. This time he only has 1. Maybe he not. Maybe he only had 1 last time as well. But it's like very similar situation. And this time he does take the Dwarf. Wait, maybe he doesn't have it. Okay, maybe I missed. Oh no, sorry. He only has 3 Sea Witches. I don't know why I was thinking he had 4. Okay.
Yeah, so this might be sadness.
Well, I wonder what the rationale was for that particular timing.
Mm-hmm. Tea house. No. 2 dwarves. I'm so good at this.
Alright, so Aku did in fact win the curse split.
Amazing.
He is, however, behind on, like, the components for actually having a deck.
That's true.
In a way that feels to me like it outstrips a 2 curse difference. It's going to take him a while to, like, he needs to get native villages to get plus actions. He does have the 1 wharf down there if he finds, well, he's guaranteed to find it next turn. So I guess that's fine, but like, he's going to trigger a shuffle with that wharf, and then he's going to want another wharf in that shuffle. But then if he gets wharf now, then he doesn't have a village, so it's actually a little bit weird.
Mm-hmm.
Fircoal. Every turn.
I mean,
every turn it's like, oh wait, no, I want to spend the inventor's token.
I mean, that would be me for sure.
Oh, I don't blame them. I just think it's funny.
Oh, this is nice for Aku though.
Yeah, like Fircoal's inventor's token, they're gonna pay off for Aku.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder if Fircoal should just, like, lower native villages and try to deny Aku the ability to play with much plus actions.
It's gonna be...
The problem is that Aku has a points lead,
yeah,
and all this stuff is cheap.
Yeah.
Aku probably just goes native village wharf here.
Or I could get 2 native villages.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
That's an unfortunate hand for Aku.
Yeah, not a great one for Fircoal either.
Yeah. True.
Gardens. Only 2 points, but I could certainly pick upwards. Mm-hmm. Although there's not a lot of time left, of course. That is a little bit scary. Although Fircoal doesn't have any more Inventor's tokens to try to, like, pile out with or something.
Mm-hmm. Played a lot of wharfs though.
Like, I think if Fircoal had another token, it arguably, like, it could make sense to just go for a tie here, but assuming that they don't have enough to take the gardens, which I guess I'm not actually sure.
They're gonna draw 15, 16. 8 more cards next turn.
Yeah, Fircoal just took gardens.
So I guess you just get the cards here.
What does Aku have on the mat? Nothing of value.
Well, you can gain the gardens.
I don't think it's worth it, to be honest.
I think you have to, because Fircoal's gonna empty worse.
Are they?
They have 3 worse and in play.
Yeah, that's true. Aku can only. I don't. It might not be enough.
It might not be 2 points.
Well, no, it is 2 points, but that's only a tie. And then if Fircoal can like empty Werewolves and also tick gardens again, or get in a state or something. Yeah, Aku's like, wait, why are we not playing that last native village? Was that drawn dead?
Well, I mean, this is game.
It wasn't.
Wow. All right. Aggressive use of Family of Inventors paid off.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's more so the case that Aku overinvested in the curse split. I mean, I think there's some merit to doing that, but the thing is, like, the Sea Witches, like, your odds of if you were playing with like regular Witch and you didn't have the duration sifting, I think that strategy would make more sense. It would be more likely to tilt the balance more significantly, but in this case, because Sea Witch is already cycling, and because once you get the native villages and the Werewolves, that's adding draw, and it's like removing some stop cards from your deck. Altogether, that makes you pretty likely to be able to give out a curse, like pretty frequently anyway. So while Foresight pushes that, I don't think it makes as big of a difference, like in the frequency with which you're cursing. So, and then yeah, Fircoal just had really more deck control despite the extra curses.
Yeah. Well, that was a fast match.
Yeah.
Tied, which probably doesn't bode well for Aku.
Yeah, probably not. So going back to the standings, Aku finishes with 12 wins and 18 losses. That's not like guaranteed demotion, but it's not great. Surisk has 2 matches against. So Surisk and Rust 2 still need to play. So on the one hand, if one of them beats the other badly, then that probably means that they're finishing behind Aku, or at least are at risk to do so. On the other hand, that the other one might not. So yeah, Fircoal at 50% also still has to play Rust 2. So I think there's just like a little bit too much season left to really see how this is going to play out. But yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
Good match.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. And we'll catch you on the flip side.
Flip.
Bye.
Goodbye.